Hey, so in this quick tutorial video, I'm going to go over some of the keyboard controls and the mouse controls for AutoCAD Web App. These are just some brief basic controls. We'll talk more later about commands and some of the tools that we'll use, but this is a brief intro. So I'm going to go ahead and open an Imperial A document, so an inches document here, and just for the purpose of uh, keeping things in sync to what you would do in a normal class, we're going to go ahead and save as right away because we never want to draw on top of that blank file. And then I'm going to put this in here and call it mouse controls. Just named it as something simple for now. So this is going to be the first thing you'll see on your new file. So we have the title block here. That is this printout space. We have the title block here at the bottom. The title block has the information of the organization, the drawn by, so your name. So you ideally want to change your default template to have your name in it and change the period. The date gets inputted automatically when you hit plot. So when you plot, it automatically puts that date in. The title you'll set each time, the size of the paper, the sheet number, and then the revision. And then the model view, whatever we draw in the model view, and then it shows up in our print off. One thing about the print off, and I'll mention this later as well, it's not centered, and it's like that for a reason, because the templates in class, when we create PDFs in our Windows-based computers, it always, for some reason, doesn't have it centered correctly once you plot the PDF. So I have accounted for that. So it will be centered when you plot the PDF, the way the Windows computers are set up here in school. And so it may plot the PDF differently on your Chromebook, but the files and for file integrity, what we normally use, that's why it's looks like they're not centered, and it's like that for a reason, because when we do plot the PDF, it will end up being center. But going into this model view, so we can zoom in and out by holding down the control key and then using the mouse wheel, so we can zoom in and out that way. You can pan by just using the mouse wheel. If your mouse has a left and a right scroll, you can do the same thing. You can also pan by holding down the wheel button and then moving your mouse around. So you hold down the wheel button to pan, okay, and then zoom in and out. You have to hold control while rolling the wheel. So now so real quick, I'm gonna show you like a basic line, and we'll talk about this more. So if I use that line tool, I can create a basic line. It keeps chaining a line. I can also type in line, and it shows up there in that command line, and I hit enter to draw a line, and it does the same thing. You can also L for line as well, and to create a line. Okay. Now, one of the things that normally I would tell people, if you want to delete an entity, so if you have something selected, you want to delete it, you can hit the delete key on your keyboard. Your Chromebooks don't have a delete key, so you actually, the easiest way is just right click and hit delete. You can also select multiple lines by clicking one and then holding shift and then selecting more. So you can select multiple lines like that, and then if you right click, it deletes them all. You can also Control Z for undo. Okay. You can also draw a snap box, so whatever I draw around gets selected. Okay. And so you can, if I do it halfway through these two lines, it's going to pick up all three of these. Okay. So you can hold the left click down and then drag the box to select multiple items that way, and then you can right click and hit delete. Yeah, just simple, quick how to use the mouse controls. You can pan up and down with the wheel, and then holding control, zoom in and out with the wheel, and then clicking down the wheel to pan itself. just some simple mouse tools and some quick keyboard shortcuts we talked about. Deleting is going to be important. The escape key is also important. So if you want to stop chaining a line, you want to stop drawing, hit escape and it stops drawing. So those are just some quick, easy shortcuts and some mouse controls that are going to be useful when you're using the AutoCAD web app.